I'm Sky, and I've decided to punish my father. He caused so much pain to my mother that he deserves everything I've got in store for him. I'm very scared, but I won't stop. Hear me out, and maybe you can give me some good advice. Dad didn't marry Mom for love. His parents forced him to when they found out I was about to be born. And for me, for years, my parents created the semblance of a wholesome, happy family. When I was 10, I suspected something was wrong. My father started going away often on business trips and not staying home at night, and my mother cried more often at night. My father always brought me some luxurious gift from his business trips, had dinner with us, and then went away again. And he said to do some work. By the time I was 14, I realized that it wasn't work. My father just lived away from us. But for holidays and for my birthday, he was in the family. Many of my classmates had single-parent families. But for some reason, it was especially difficult for me. Maybe because for everyone, my family looked so happy. But in reality, one day something happened that fundamentally changed my attitude to my father, and I practically started hating him. And why I started hating him? You'll find out later. But now don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you have the bell clicked so you'll know when there's a new video coming out. So, we were celebrating my 15th birthday. The house was decorated with balloons. My mom ordered a huge cake. My girlfriend sat around for a while and then left. And I stayed at the party table with my parents. I rarely saw them together. And I always missed them terribly. Dad furtively glanced at his watch and his phone. "Dad, is it work again?" I asked in an innocent tone. Dad smiled a little and nodded back. "Do not go anywhere. Let's watch a comedy together and have another piece of cake. Please." I was determined to do anything I could to make him stay. And Dad gave in. Mom, hiding a tired smile, went to make more tea. And Dad and I sat down on the couch and turned on the first movie we saw. In about 15 minutes, my dad was sniffling peacefully into his pillow. And suddenly there was a message on his phone. The phone was next to me, so I could read the message. "Hi baby, where do we meet?" I felt like I was thrown out of a bucket of cold water. "Baby!" And the messages poured out one by one. It was a dating site. And my dad didn't seem to be new to the site. He was receiving messages from all kinds of girls. And some of them said, "You again, long time no see." I felt uncomfortable. It was hard to accept this thought. And even harder was the fact that the pictures of the girls who wrote to my father were just a little older than me. I got mad at my dad. Having a relationship with young girls? That's just disgusting. So I decided to teach him a lesson. The plan was simple. My neighbor and good friend Suri was a photographer, and she had all kinds of props at her house. I said I wanted a dramatic change of image, and we did it. I made fabulous makeup, put on a wig, put on a sexy outfit, and my photos were on fire. I registered on this site, and I put a couple of pictures of myself. And I didn't even recognize myself. With the wig, the bright makeup, and the outfit that made me look beautiful, Suri, my photographer next door, helped me out. When I explained the idea to her, she clapped her hands together and told me it would be an unforgettable experience. I did not recognize myself, but my father immediately fell for the image. Apparently, he liked such striking girls. He made an appointment at the hotel. At the reception, they gave me the key, smiling slyly. And now I'm sitting in this room, and everything inside me is shaking. It's still an hour before my father arrives. I purposely came in advance. I don't know what to do. I want to humiliate him. I want to hurt him. And he's been hurting and betraying my mother all these years. But at the same time, he's my dad, and I love him. And everybody makes mistakes. What would you do? Advise me. I am no longer sure of anything, and the time is passing. In fact, I have the urge to run away, but I have so thought it all out. Please help me with your advice. Your advice is very important to me.
Hi, my name is Lada, and I'm from Delhi. And this is my twin sister, Maya. Yes, we look nothing alike, to say the least. Maya has brown skin and dark hair, and I'm pale and blonde. It's a genetic aberration. I was born this way. Everyone made fun of me as a child, calling me a ghost. At school, they pointed fingers at me and avoided me. All the boys were into Maya, and they called me a pale toad. I had no friends at all, until one day I came across an online dating site. Couldn't be worse, I thought. And I took the decision and quickly registered myself on it. And immediately I received a message from one guy. When I saw his picture, I was stunned. Gordon was really handsome. After a couple of messages, he asked me why I don't have a profile photo and how do I look. And I froze. Everyone avoids me when they see me, and Gordon wouldn't want to text me either if he would see my picture, I thought. So I sent him a picture of my sister Maya instead. And it worked out. I started spending long hours on the computer. We texted with Gordon for hours. It turned out he lived in Cleveland and, like me, was in the 8th grade. Gordon became my salvation. We laughed, shared everything, and dreamed in our correspondence. And it could go on like this for a long time, but before I continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you have clicked on the bell. Then you'll know when there's a new video coming out on the channel. But one day, my dad was knocking on the door to my room. Looked into my room and announced that we were moving to the States. He's been transferred to a new position at his job, and in a couple days, we fly to Cleveland. No way. That's where Gordon lives. Already on the plane, I consoled myself that Cleveland is a big city, and people live there for years and never meet. So I might never see Gordon in person. My lie with Maya's photo would not be revealed, and Gordon will continue to chat with me. The first day at the new school went well. Nobody pointed a finger at me. As it turned out, there were a lot of blondes here, and all the guys, on the contrary, pay more attention to them than to all the other girls. After school, Maya and I hurried home. And suddenly, behind my back, I heard, "Lada?" When I turned around, I saw Gordon grabbing Maya's hand and smiling at her. "You were in Delhi, weren't you? Do you live here now? Why didn't you tell me?" Gordon bombarded Maya with questions. She looked around in confusion, not sure what was going on. I ran up to them. "You've made a mistake. We have to go now. Sorry." I forcefully pulled Maya toward the door. "Lada, who is this guy? Why did he call me by your name?" I had to tell Maya everything. She was shocked. "I'll tell Gordon everything. We go to the same school. The truth will come out anyway, Lada." I was both willing to say the truth and at the same time afraid of Gordon's reaction when he would find out. I liked him a lot. The next day after school, Maya was supposed to tell Gordon everything. She called out to him and took him aside. They were talking and Gordon was waving his arms. I watched them from behind a tree and then they were going somewhere. The two of them? What's going on? Maya texted me, "Don't wait for me. I'll tell you tonight." She came back a few hours later in a good mood. She started chirping about Gordon and he's such a fun guy and he's so smart. "I know that, Maya," I interrupted her. "You told him?" Maya put her head down. "I could not, Lada, but tomorrow I'll tell him everything, I promise." The next day, Maya spent a long time in front of the mirror. After school, Gordon was waiting for her in the schoolyard. She smiled at him and they had a date again. I followed them. Just as they walked out of the school, Gordon took Maya's hand. What? I was so pissed off. Oh no, sis. When you'll be back tonight, I'll give you a hard time. Late that night, as soon as Maya showed up on the doorstep, I pounced on her. You promised you'd tell him everything and now you're dating? I saw him holding your hand. Sis, I'm in love with Gordon, Maya blurted it out. And he loves me. He loves me, not you. How could you do this to me? I wanted to cry from helplessness. The only guy who didn't make fun of me, and even that one was taking away from me. I have to talk to Gordon myself and tell him everything, I decided. The next day, our last class was PE. By lucky accident, it was just me and Maya in the locker room. She went to take a shower and her phone on the bench vibrated. I looked and it was Gordon. I'm waiting for you in the yard, he texted. This was my chance. I grabbed all of Maya's clothes, threw them in my locker, and locked it. I ran out of the locker room and hurried over to Gordon's. Where's Maya? He was surprised when he saw me. Gordon, there's something I need to tell you. You were chatting with me, not with Maya. I'm Lotta. I sent you her picture instead because I was afraid that if you saw me, you wouldn't want to communicate with such a pale toad. What? Everyone in India has a darker skin, so everyone makes fun of me for my pale skin and blonde hair. Gordon looked at me in silence, and I waited for him to smile, to hug me, to take my hand, and it doesn't matter anymore. I like Maya, and I want to hang out with her. But you've been texting me. You liked my jokes, mine, not Maya's, I screamed. And now I'm interested in her. And we could just be friends with you, Lotta. What do you think? Tears came to my throat. I nodded silently in response and with my head down went home. After that story, Maya was mad at me for a couple of days. She had to break into my locker to get dressed, but now she's not even paying attention to me. She's dating Gordon, and I can't get over him. I feel pain and depression. Maybe I should ask my parents to transfer me to another school. What do you think? What would you do if you were me? Any advice? Please? I really look forward to your comments.